G'day legends, how you all going today? I'm Luke, and this is the Aussie Filter.
Please adhere to YouTube selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behavior shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during this video. All actions are performed by professionals.
I quit smoking. Once upon a time in my life, yes, I did quit smoking. I'd been smoking for a few years. I was probably about 24 at the time when I decided that I needed to quit. Well, it really wasn't my decision. Ultimately, it was my decision, but it wasn't something that I wanted to do. So my dad, he don't like smokers. He just doesn't like smoking. He thinks it's disgusting, waste of money, and whatever other reasons that he can come up with. He just doesn't like smoking, and every time he sees either my mum smoking, me smoking, my sister smoking, he was just not happy about it. He didn't say all that much to me, but he used to ask the question, "What do you smoke for?" So, why not? So around about the age of 24, I think I was about 24, I decided that, okay, I'll quit. And I tried it cold turkey. Yeah, that didn't work very well. I think I lasted about a day, maybe 2 days. It wasn't long at all. I just gave up. I think I tried to quit on a Thursday, and by Friday night I was at the pub having a beer. So beer and cigarettes, they go together. couldn't do that. And I tried the patches, whacked on the old cigarette patch things, and that didn't work at all. Just took the patches off and had a cigarette, then put a patch back on. I thought, yeah, that's not going to work. It's not. This isn't going to be successful, and now it's just cost me twice as much. So I've got to buy cigarettes and patches. So yeah, gave up on that after a week or two. Then I went to the doctors, and I thought, I'll go to the doc and see what he's got to say about it. So I go into the doc and I'm like, I want to quit smoking. I've tried cold turkey, tried the patches. I don't like the nicotine gum thing. That's just gross shit. Not eating that, or not chewing on that. That's terrible. So he told me, he said there's this new drug out, and it's called, in Australia, it's called Champex. It's got some different names around the world, but in Australia it's called Champex. And he said that this drug's been having some wildly successful results. And so he prescribed Champex to me, and he told me how it works. He said, you take these pills for, I don't know, it was a couple of months, I think. But after 10 days, you won't want to smoke anymore. You keep smoking for the next 10 days. As soon as you start taking the pills, and in 10 days' time, you won't want to smoke. All right, let's go. So I did, gave it a shot. First day taking the pills, kept smoking, nothing changed. By day 9, it was the same. I was smoking and taking the pills, and nothing had changed. But on the 10th day, thinking that, yeah, this is just a load of shit. They don't work. They just, cost me whatever it cost me. I can't remember how much they were. I remember on the 10th day, I got up, lit up a cigarette, and didn't feel any different. Didn't taste any different. It was just the same. And I thought, oh yeah, this isn't working. But about halfway through that day, I lit up a smoke, and it was horrible. I couldn't smoke it. And for the rest of the day, I'd come back to a cigarette, light one up. Ugh, horrible. Don't want to smoke it. And then I thought, okay, maybe this does work. So I continued on taking the Champex and wasn't smoking. I'd go to the pub, boys would go outside for a smoke. I'd just stay inside. Just didn't even like the smell of smoke anymore. It was horrible. So I was pretty happy. I was like, yeah, this shit does work. And then eventually it all just, I was a non-smoker. I didn't like the smell of smoke. I wasn't smoking. Months had gone by. I was feeling different, happy not to be smoking. And that went on for about 2 years. For 2 years, I didn't touch a cigarette, went nowhere near them. Eventually, I started going outside with the boys, and the cigarette smoke wasn't bothering me as much. So I was happy. And then one night when I was on the piss, and all the boys were smoking, and I was sitting outside with them, and I just had a thought. Yeah, wonder what they taste like. So, kind of like back in the school days, I bummed half a cigarette off my mate, or a couple of. I think I said to him, "Leave me a couple of drags of that cigarette. I want to see if I like it." And so he did. He left me a couple of drags of his cigarette, and I I had a couple of drags of the cigarette, and it wasn't nice. I didn't enjoy it. I was like, good. But then the next time the boys went out, and I went out with them, again, this is how my mentality is. Said again, leave a couple of puffs of that cigarette, and I'll go again. And I did. And I still didn't like it all that much, so I was like pretty happy. I was like, yeah, cool. But as the night went on and the drunker I got, I was like, share that cigarette with me. I'll have half a cigarette. Give me half of it. So then I'd have half a cigarette. Then it turned into a full cigarette. And then by the end of the night, I was smoking a full cigarette again. And I woke up the next morning and it wasn't too bad. I was like, didn't want a cigarette, no problems. Went to work the next day or whenever it was. Hadn't had a cigarette since that night on the drink. So I was like, okay, that's cool. But then the next time I went out to have a drink with the boys, I was bumming cigarettes off them, drinking and smoking. And then they eventually got the shits with me and said, fuck you, if you're going to smoke, go and buy your own. You can afford smokes, stop bumming them off us. So I was like, oh, righto. So I did. Went up to the smoke machine, got a packet of cigarettes, and just a little packet, because in Australia, you've got them in all different sizes. We got a pack of 20, so that'll do me for the night. And that was sweet as. I was like, okay, maybe I'll be a social smoker. I'm okay with having a beer and a smoke. That's all cool. And that went on for months, a couple of months at least. And then there was one night I was getting ready to go to work, being a shift worker. I was on night shift, and I was getting ready to go to work, and it was pouring down rain. Now, in the mining industry, if it's raining, you can't work. Like, I mean, proper rain, like where everything gets really muddy and terrible. You just can't drive those trucks, and nothing really. Yeah, it's just impossible, really. And because it was raining, for some unknown reason, I knew I was in for a long night because the forecast was going to rain all night. So I saw a packet of cigarettes sitting on my coffee table. I'm getting ready to go to work, knowing that it's going to be a long night. And I thought, nah, bugger it. I'll take the cigarettes with me. Help pass the time, I guess. Funny thing, we used to call it movie night at work because no work was going on, so somebody would bring their laptop or something and plug it in, and we would watch movies all night. So I kind of thought to myself, yeah, I'll take the cigarettes and help pass the time. And that was it. I was smoking again, full time. Once I took those cigarettes to work, it was back on. It was, you're now smoking when you're sober. You're now smoking just because you're smoking. I think I bought another packet of cigarettes on my way home from work the next morning, and yeah, that was me. I was done. I was smoking again. So after 2 years of not smoking, and gradually over a period of time, just casually smoking, it took about 3 months, maybe 4 months, and I was back to full smoker. I was a smoker, and it didn't bother me. I wasn't down on myself. I wasn't angry. Didn't care. As I say, I actually thought about it a bit. I was like, even though those 2 years I didn't think about smoking, I didn't want to smoke until I did. And it was surprising how easy it was to go back to being a smoker. And I heard a lot of people talking about once a smoker, always a smoker. No matter if you quit, it's easy to take it back up again. And yeah, that was it. And I've been smoking ever since. And I've never, since that time, which is 22 years ago, I've never wanted to quit again. Never had the motivation, the inkling. Just didn't want to. Haven't wanted to. But I always say, I don't know what the future holds. I don't know if tomorrow I'll wake up and I don't want to smoke anymore. And if I get to that point, I'm cool with it. But for now, I'm happy smoking. I have no intentions on quitting. But that's not to say that one day I won't. That I won't wake up and go, nah, I don't want to smoke no more. I quit. Who knows? One of the reasons that I don't care is, I don't believe that smoking is causing me any harm. Now, that will be an unpopular belief. A lot of people will say there's so much information out there that says that says smoking does cause harm. I don't have that belief system. It's a little difficult for me to talk about my beliefs because they do go against mainstream and they do go against medical advice and apparently scientists and health experts and all that. But I just don't subscribe to it. I just don't believe it. I have this, goddamn, this wind in my hair. Probably should have tied it up, but who cares? My belief system started changing a few years ago when I learnt or heard about Dr. Joe Dispenza and his recovery from a bike accident and his teachings about how the body can heal itself. And I just believe that to be true. I believe that nothing that I do, or maybe not nothing, but certain things I just believe aren't going to harm me. Like won't go putting myself in harm's way. People will say that cigarettes are putting myself in harm's way, but I don't see cigarettes as being harmful. I just don't. So I don't believe that they're actually causing me any damage. I used to have to go and get regular lung checks for black coal due to the fact that I was a coal miner for 18 years, and every 2 years you have to, well, yeah, you have to go and get a lung test. And my lung capacity was fine, and I'd been smoking the whole time since I've been in the mining industry, just about. My lungs always showed up clean, and I just put that down to my belief system. So if you're worried about something ever happening to you, like if you're worried that you're going to get sick, or if you're worried that you're going to get diseases and all that type of shit, chances are you probably are going to get something. I don't have that belief. But in saying that also, if one day I do get a disease like cancer or something, so what? I'm a free thinker. I also believe in when your time's up, your time's up. And if it's this that one day I die from, okay. But I've lived the life that I've wanted to live. I do things on my own terms. I'm not being dictated to. I'm not trying to do anything that's to prolong my life or anything like that. If I die, I die. It's only me dropping this body. I'll keep going living. Just that I've worn this body out. I'll come back with a new one. Start again. So in a way, I think that I'm a rather free person. Probably go on and explain a bit more about this in the coming time. More confident I get that I want to speak my mind. So that'll do for the day. So that's it, legends. I'm happy being a smoker. I feel healthy, feel great, feel happy. Catch you in the next video.